Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
WNBA has a serious problem with its players and with its gatekeeping so-called old guard fans, all 9 of them, 10 of them, I don't know, maybe there's 11 who were never there for basketball in the first place. Because if this league wants to take a step forward, if this league wants to actually be seen as a professional sports league, if this league wants to earn that new media rights deal to where they all don't say, hey, wait, you know what? We are not going to do this. It is not worth the money. This, again, I did a ratings video not that long ago because some of the numbers were so bad. What was it? Chicago Sky and Las Vegas Aces did 90,000 viewers. That is not going to get it done. The WNBA needs to clean up its so-called, it's not the new fans, it's not the Caitlin Clark fans that are a problem. It's the so-called original old guard gatekeeping fans that are the problem, which we're going to get into in a moment with the Indiana Fever Atlanta Dream game last night. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you being here. Shout out to the 19. Hope you all having a fantastic day. So let's dig into this a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see when this video comes. I don't know if I'll be able to show this or to play the audio or how it goes, but I'm going to give it a try because we had an issue with Alicia Gray, not, I think, a couple of times.
Now, Alicia Gray is having a word with someone in the crowd, and now security is also involved.
It looks like that fan is being you see Ryan Howard trying to calm down
Alicia looks very upset. Now, I shouldn't have to say this part, but I will because you know how a lot of people are nowadays. There are at times in sports in general, this has nothing to do with the Indiana Fever. This has nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. It doesn't even have to do with all the ism and ists and foes that they love to talk about. It's just sometimes there are sports fans that get overly emotional in the heat of the moment of games. And yeah, some of them say things that they should not say that I can understand, not just for the players, but for the fans around them. Okay. If I were, say, to take young kids or, and then I took, let me back it up because I have taken my players when they were young to professional games. When I was coaching soccer, I took a bunch of my players at the time. I think we were U10. So we're talking about summer, maybe after U10. We're talking about girls who were 9, 10 years old. I took them to a Philadelphia Union soccer game. And you know what? Some of the things, now, there wasn't an incident then, but I've been to other sporting events. You all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes some of the things fans say in the language that they use, I get it. If you're a father or a mother or someone like me as a coach, and obviously parents were there as well. We had chaperones because there's no adult handling 17, 18, 9, 10-year-old girls at a professional game. But anyway, my point being, you don't want certain behaviors and languages around those kids, right? It should be a family-friendly environment. That being said, we all know whether it is the lies with Angel Reese for the first game of the season or nonsense with, you have players like Alyssa Thomas lying about the slurs being yelled at players, Britt Griner lying about slurs being yelled at players. We know we had Kalea Copper talking about how booing Dewana Bonner was, I believe the word was disgusting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the word that she thought that was disgusting. By the way, booing, normal fan behavior. And so you have this environment now where anything Indiana Fever fans do or don't do is always going to be cast in a negative light. Let me back that up. They don't even have to do anything. They'll be lied about and cast in a negative light. And it's also been made clear that we have overly sensitive, overly emotional, mentally unstable players throughout the league that cannot actually play their sport in front of real sports fans. right? Like they're going to have breakdowns, which it seems like Alicia Gray is having here, because guess what? That fan was brought back in. I have not been able to find anything that concretely tells me what the fan may or may not have said. My guess is if the fan was brought back in, that it was very clear that it was something that a typical fan might say, might even be booing, might have even said, hey, you can't shoot. And that was it. And that could be enough to have Alicia Gray have an absolute mental meltdown, because obviously she was also in a state where the game's not going her way. She shot incredibly poorly, couldn't hit anything. Atlanta Dream were getting their butts kicked. So, of course, you know what we're going to do is we're going to have a fan taken out. But here's the big problem that I have with the WNBA with regard to all this, and this is what they have to fix. They spend all this time and all this energy going after Caitlin Clark fans, trying to disparage Caitlin Clark fans. But there are a whole lot more people who are like this. They post this, and again, the fan was allowed back in. This person has no idea what the fan said, but hey, Alicia Gray doesn't bother anyone. I don't know how you can make that statement. I effing hate the Indiana Fever ist ass fan base. Of course, I'll never like that team. Y'all, please find that, of course, white, funky biatch and get her socials and job and get him fired. So here you go. You have this this person, Sarah Lee, is everything she projects onto other people. And they're going to try and get a fan fired who, again, by the way, was let back in, which means, of course, there was nothing so egregious that that fan had to be booted out and then banned from games and from attending. This is clearly an Alicia Gray up in her feels, overly emotional, can't control her emotions, and she was having a breakdown from something said that probably wasn't that big a deal. But this is the reaction we always get from the anti-Caitlin Clark WNBA crowd. And a lot of people are saying here, and of course they always do, this is what they always do. They are not going to allow replies because they know deep down that they're idiots. F off, you're the ist. You don't know what happened or what was said. These WNBA players are soft, which I think I alluded to. Y'all love being the victims. But see, here's where you're getting, people are getting tired of this stuff and they're pushing back. Need to give them a refund. Yeah, so need to give them an indefinitely ban. Okay, that's great English, Sarah. You're quite the intelligent human being. But again, this is what we are constantly getting because that is not it. Right, here's another one, that fan, and put it in quotes, I don't know why, upsetting Alicia Gray. Oh no, a fan upset a player. Oh my God. Oh, my head's gonna explode. Blood's gonna shoot out of my eyes. Think about this, gave me an unstoppable about of more fuel to gave me an unstoppable about of more. Help me out with this one, folks. I'm going to read it as it said without stopping, and let me know in the comments. Usually I can figure it out, but I'm not sure what this. I'm going to be nice and say typo. What is this supposed to say? That fan upsetting Alicia Gray gave me an unstoppable about of more fuel to the fire. When it comes to my hatred towards that team's fandom, because I do not play when it comes to her. I do not play. Katie don't play, folks. Katie don't play. Why? Whiny child doesn't play. So here again is the WNBA fan nonsense. The WNBA, you do have a fan problem. It is the non-Caitlin Clark fans that are your problem, that are going to keep you from taking that next step as a professional league. And people are getting tired of it. Annika, shout out Annika. I know she watches the channel. I'm starting to feel like this is a test for her. It's like, okay, let's see if Annika's watching this video. That fan was brought right back in, and security apologized to him. Gray was playing like butt. She was flopping all night to foul bait, and she couldn't handle it. Sit TF down, you baiter. A master of it. Gray just sucked. It happens. What was said, or folks just trying to change the subject from Atlanta's lost. You clearly are new to sports fandom or watch absolutely no other sports. Most legacy W fans are used to watching games played in half-empty arenas, so I understand that constant sellouts in one's team base is unsettling. That fan was allowed to return to their seat after security looked into it. Seems clear it was standard fan chirping designed to get into the head of Gray, and it worked. Luckily for Gray in Atlanta, they can retreat to their middle school gym, not ready for the big time. You don't even know what was said or what even happened, yet immediately you go to blanket hatred towards an entire fan base without even having any of the facts. Gee, where have we seen this one before? 100%. Even got Indiana Fever Muse worked up. Yeah, F you too. We never liked you either. B, go Indiana Fever. Never talks like that. And the reason you're seeing this above as a repost is because, again, they always say stuff like this and then limit the replies. And again, Anna Katu says, prove it. And that's it. And of course, nothing happened, obviously, if it had been so egregious to give the reaction that we get from the dumb people and the single digit IQs of the world like Sarah and Katie, the fan would not have been allowed back into their seat. This is a league that has always basically had a social gathering in which they played a little basketball. Now, and hey, if you want to get paid what you say you're owed, folks, you better get used to this type of stuff. This is real sports. This is what happens when you have real sports fans. You are going to have interactions with fans. You are going to have fans booing. You are going to have fans yelling. I don't know if they're still really good at it or not, but the Cameron Crazies and Duke were always quite creative with the stuff they yelled out. And it is what it is. Sometimes certain fans cross the line with words that they use, sure. But it all still comes from the whole my team, your team of sports. That's just the way it is. But WNBA needs to clean this stuff up. This is not the stuff they can continue to allow. They need to address their gatekeeping fans, not the Caitlin Clark fans. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you checking out the video. Do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. Go of the day you deserve. We will talk to you later.